Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to our video. Today, we are going for the newest patches tier list. So, in these balance changes, things are happening crazy. Even though a small rework for some things have shaken the meta really, really hard, and I feel like this meta is arguably one of the more balanced metas compared to the others. So let's go over the heroes before the minis. As also you can see, like the style, I'm going back to the old one. I still prefer that one. Before minis, new minis and heroes come out, I'll still be using this one. I don't mind the ones at the bottom because they're fine. They're fine. I just use them for another tier list. But anyway, so let's go from heroes and then minis. Number one, let's go with Monk. Best, arguably strongest, and the most, just the most strongest hero right now. Even though everything's playable, Monk is still the best. It can counter the top two most broken minis in the game right now, and there are not really a straight counter against Monk. Of course, the mini pick of Dissipate always works, but damage is really countering Monk right now. Also, you can say Witch, but I would definitely say no because Witch is just way too weak and it's unplayable. It is Monk is just fairly strong, best out of all the heroes, even though they come pretty close. So then we have Barbarian King. Barbarian King at A still remains because the Barcher combo, even though weakened, is still pretty strong. And we are seeing you swap Ice Wizard for Miner. Miner is really strong right now because of Archer Queen buff, and the Dissipate's really doing good against Musketeer. So Miner and Barbarian King really strong right now. Barbarian King, even though not the best right now, Monk at least doesn't kill its shield for the invincibility. So right now we're seeing some good plays for the Barbarian King, even though the Archer has been nerfed. We're also seeing more Dark Goblin, which is quite interesting. I don't expect that at all. Moving on, we're going to Archer Queen. Archer Queen is also at A for one reason. Invisibility has put her very immune to many things like Archer, Musketeer, Miner, P.E.K.K.A. Um, just immune to a lot of things, and now she's played at like second row, and she's excellent paired with the P.E.K.K.A. The boast from her invisibility is absolutely broken, suits her very, very well, and she is very viable in the meta. Although her mini pool is kind of weak and kind of small, she is definitely viable no matter what you say. So right now, even Fisherman doesn't counter her, Archer doesn't counter her, and the only straight counters are actually pretty melee, which you don't expect. And then we got the anti-meta Skeleton King. Skeleton King has always been very weak in the meta, and we don't see him much have much like praise or plays because he is fairly weird as a play style. He's a tank, but he's not a tank. He is a damage dealer, but not a damage dealer. So it's right in between, and you can't really put him in anywhere. But right now he's doing good because of the recent buffs to the other minis that suit him well. Although he has a weird mini pool, which aren't that meta, let's say like Skeleton King Clash, which is very, very popular. We have Prince, Spear Goblin, Bowler, and then probably Golden Giant. And um, right now, what would a mini suit? I'm thinking probably something like another three. Like Mini P.E.K.K.A isn't doing that well. Maybe Fisherman. Okay, but okay, go back to the main point. Yes, Skeleton King is very, very good. Oh, Magic Archer, my bad. Yes, Skeleton King is very, very good, and the only reason is because anti-meta. He is good against Monk. He's good against Barbarian King. He's good against not really good against Barbarian King, but he's fairly weak against Barbarian King, but still not the worst. I would say like a 60-40 and he's good against Archer Queen, good against Shield Maiden, good against Wave Master, good against World Champion, good against Countess. There's no straight counter to him. but at the same time he doesn't like beat anything. So he's kind of like a jack of all trades, but he's still pretty decent. So I wouldn't say like he's weak at all. Right now I put him in A. Is maybe a little overrated, but personally I think he is gaining a lot of souls because of damage, isolation, dissipate right now, and it's been doing him really nice. The only problem is he needs some more placement practice. Okay, moving on to B tier, we have Shield Maiden, the only hero at B tier. So Shield Maiden right now is fairly strong with the P.E.K.K.A battle healer, and I've seen some Shield Maiden Clash. Surprisingly, might make a video on that, and then maybe some Ice Wizard and Wizard. Shield Maiden is very strong right now because well, there's not really except for P.E.K.K.A, which really counters her. At the same time, not really, because P.E.K.K.A kills herself before killing Shield Maiden. But you get the idea. Only Monk really counters Shield Maiden right now, which isn't that popular actually. People are looking towards to play something else. They don't see Monk as the strongest. But anyway, Shield Maiden isn't the worst, isn't the best, and right now she's doing pretty well in some decks with Battle Healer, and the meta's pretty steady for her. You expect the same few decks, but she is fairly strong with a small mini pool. And then we're moving on to C tier. We have Wave Master and World Champion and Countess. Three of those. So let's scrim over Wave Master first. Wave Master is good with the Valkyrie and Swordsman. You all know that. But the problem with Wave Master, why he isn't good right now, because Monk is fairly strong. Arsha Queen doesn't get countered by Wave Master. Skeleton King counters Wave Master. And Barbarian King doesn't really well, yeah, he does counter Barbarian King, but Barbarian King isn't seeing much play. So we're actually seeing a lot of Shield Maiden and Skeleton King and Archer Queen right now in the meta, and people aren't discovering Monk. Barbarian King has been toned a little down, and people see Barbarian King as a little too weak after the patches, but I feel like he is still fairly strong. But Wave Master isn't doing a good job right here because he just needs a little HP buff and a little stun buff. I feel like that would do him fairly well. And then we got the Royal Champion, arguably one of the worst minis in the meta right now. It does not counter anything. It just doesn't kill Barbarian King. It doesn't kill Monk. It doesn't kill Archer Queen. It doesn't kill Skeleton King. It doesn't kill Shield Maiden. It doesn't kill Wave Master. It doesn't kill Countess. That's her problem, and that's why she's not doing good in meta. Right now, she definitely needs a slight hit speed buff. That's what I feel like, or an energy cost decrease buff would both do her nice. But right now, she's not strong enough. And moving on to Countess. Countess is we saw some fairly good plays of her in the very early of the meta around 2 weeks ago, but right now she's falling off because Barbarian King 2 Elixir is not as popular right now, and Skeleton King is really countering her, and so is Archer Queen, and so is Monk. And right now the meta is Shield 2-star Battle Healer and P.E.K.K.A completely counters her. So we don't see much play about Countess, and I don't think we will for this meta at all. Okay, let's move on to minis. Wow, surprise, surprise. Two minis, P.E.K.K.A, Battle Healer, S tier. Both used in many decks. You can't really name a deck without them. Maybe Archer Queen without the Battle Healer, but everything's fairly strong. Now, P.E.K.K.A deals 12 damage using 4-8-12 elixir right now. That's very, very strong considering the hit speed. And Battle Healer is giving the block that's like really, really OP because not really anything can counter it. You can see like arguably Dark Goblin, but Dark Goblin's not good because of the Healing Ranger 3rd-star rework, which really changes up Dark Goblin's hit speed. And his shield breaking is not so good. So right now, yes, Battle Healer is absolutely broken. So is P.E.K.K.A. There's not really any deck you wouldn't use them. Maybe not P.E.K.K.A in a Barbarian King or a Wave Master. No, you still use it in Wave Master. Maybe a P.E.K.K.A not in Barbarian King deck, and a Battle Healer not in a Archer Queen deck or Wave Master deck. But that is really it. Or even Royal Champion. That's why they're not good. These heroes are not good. So yeah, that's basically summing up this whole meta. Next, we move on to A tier. So A tier, we have We're gonna quickly scrim over them. Giant Skeleton. Right now, 9 damage for a bomb with 6 elixir is really OP. Be able to track so many things. And the large radius is really nice with the Wave Master. He is used in many Wave Master 3 elixir decks and many other 3 elixir decks, but still, right now, P.E.K.K.A.'s still overshining, so we don't see the most play up with him, but he's very, very strong. Then we got Lumberjack. Lumberjack still in A. Lumberjack still being broken, most broken mini, and like after reworks, and he's just so strong. There is absolutely no comment for that because he can literally hit speed, increase the speed of a P.E.K.K.A., increase the speed of a Battle Healer, and their hit speed, when their hit speed is up, damage is up, healing is up. It's crazy. And then we got Miner. Miner's a really good counter against Musketeer, Ice Wizard, Archer in the meta right now, even Wizard. The Dissipate and 2 damage is really nice buff to him, and I feel like it was well deserved. This is probably one of the more solid and not crazy OP. Doesn't make you mad or at all because there is a huge counter play against him. Just putting something behind your backline minis. And then we got Musketeer. Musketeer is very awful right now. She is very toxic, surprisingly, because for one sole fact, sole fact that she can hard counter P.E.K.K.A., she can hard counter Monk, even Battle Healer, makes them stun, makes them push away, cannot gain energy, cannot gain damage, cannot gain any value. So right now, really, really OP. And then we have Ice Wizard here. Ice Wizard got a really big nerf, I suppose, but his 1 star is still fairly strong, does him good. 3rd star is not good at all right now because he is only used in Barcher decks, but maybe when the meta shifts, I think I said this in the last video of the balance changes, when the meta shifts, then it might see more in 3rd star play, but right now pretty weak. And then we got Archer. Archer still at A, even though her speed, her pride and speed is not being a stack. She is still fairly used in Barbarian King decks. And lastly was Swordsman. Swordsman is really good with the Wave Master right now, but that's really it. That's why with Swordsman is at the bottom of A tier. And then we have Wizard. Wizard anti-heal. Wizard anti-heal right now is fairly good against Healing Ranger, but not so much on the Battle Healer. Yes, it counters it 75% of time, but block really doesn't do anything when you have Wizard anti-heal. Block is just overshining. My bad. I meant block is just overshining Wizard's anti-heal, so it doesn't do enough. And then we got Valkyrie. Valkyrie is fairly strong with the Wave Master and good against something like Archer Queen, but and with Barbarian King. But right now, she is pretty not the best, but pretty balanced. Anti-heal is doing more job because the heal meta right now. And then we got the Mega Knight. Mega Knight is really, really good compared to his past metas because Mega Knight is fairly balanced right now with the Battle Healer. Although it's overshined by the P.E.K.K.A. Wow again, but he's pretty good with the Miner, and it's just fairly strong overall. Then we got the Elixir Wizard, 4 Elixir Mini. Pretty underwhelming right now, but still very, very niche and pretty OP. There's not really straight counters except for Miner or Archer, but right now he is used in very versatile, used in many decks, although there is not one single deck he really sticks to. And then we got the Golden Giant. Golden Giant really good against stuns. We don't see much stuns here, so that's why he's not at A or S, but he is fairly strong because you sometimes still see stuns, and after all, he is one of the 3 elixir minis that you would want to use Healing Ranger with. And then we got Dark Goblin. Dark Goblin, the Shatter buff rework kind of has really done well. It's not the best, but because of Healing Ranger nerf, but right now he is still fairly better than before. It is a nice change. And then moving on to C tier, we have Healing Ranger. Healing Ranger is seeing plays in Archer Queen decks right now, but that's it. So she is not the best, but I'm still seeing some plays maybe in like a Skeleton King deck, but right now she's not the best, and I would not recommend using her. Trying herself, trying to make an original deck herself if you're not very experienced with her. But definitely look for some guides. They definitely do include Healing Ranger. And then we got Magic Archer. Magic Archer is not the best right now, overshined by a lot of things, but still fairly used in Skeleton King Clash, I believe. And overall, pretty strong with the stacks and Sauna, but not the best. Then we got Mini Pekka. Mini Pekka Pancaker has done him dirty. We thought he would drop back to A or B, but we're wrong. Because for the fact that the meta changes, Monk disappears from his superiority, and the change where Pekka comes in, bursts really get, you know, overshined by the Pekka, and Mini Pekka's not really good. And so Dissipate really counters Battle Healer, but we Pekka's just way too strong. And then we got Fisherman. Fisherman hook is not the best. There's nothing to hook right now. And even if you hook an Archer Queen, it's just gonna go invisible, and if they have a training camp, you're dead. That sums up basically Archer Queen matchups right now. And there is no definite counter other than actually putting a Mega Knight down or a Miner down. Even though Miner's not of 100% you know, anti Archer Queen. But Fisherman does fairly well against some ranged minis, but overall still bottom of C tier. Then we moving up D tier. Prince. Prince buff didn't do anything. I would say more than enough, but I feel like he still needs a Clash +1 damage. I know it's nasty. Clash is gonna be broken, but I think that's what we need. Spirit Goblin, right now, D tier. I feel like the pride should be removed for something else because right now people just really want to stack the Archer Pride, and people won't go for Spirit Goblin Pride because it's taking away the damage that Archer needs. Um, Spirit Goblin is also seeing less play in Barbarian King to Elixir, so we're not really happy for those Spirit Goblin lovers. But yeah, we don't see much play for him, and he's just not strong enough. I feel like maybe Skillful Toss needs a little speed upgrade or speed buff or pride rework for something else. Okay, moving on, we got the Bowler at D tier, another Clash mini. Yeah, haha, Clash. Yeah. The fact about Bowler is that Bowler is just not strong enough. 2 damage at Clash. And 4 damage is not enough to crush anything ranged. I feel like the nerf was needed, but it has gone a little extend. I wouldn't say like overly extend, but because the meta shift with the P.E.K.K.A, now Bowler can't be played a frontline. He gets less value. Okay, moving on, we got Barbarian. Barbarian is good in Barbarian King to Elixir decks. Yes, I know that, but right now that's the only useful part about him. So I feel like he needs a little buff on his other star grades, but fairly enough, he is still used in Barbarian King deck, 2 Elixir decks, and if anything crazy changes, he will still remain in a low tier, but with really strong capabilities with his mini pole and viability, no matter how weak he is. Bottom of D, we got Rogue Ghost. Rogue Ghost should really need a big rework. DPS Rogue Ghost isn't gonna do the meta well, even though it wasn't a big nerf to him. P.E.K.K.A has came to the meta and it completely crushes Rogue Ghost. So I know. Hit speed is faster. He goes invisible before P.E.K.K.A. No. We don't care about that. Thing is, Monk counters, Barbarian King counters, Archer Queen counters. It's just not a good meta for Rogue Ghost. I feel like Rogue Ghost needs a shift from the DPS play to the supportive play. Maybe makes the lowest mini. If the lowest mini goes like to 1 HP, he should be able to invisible them, and I feel like that would be a good change. But There are just too many ideas, and Rogos just need to rework. And no matter how many ideas you have, they always come with flaws. And I feel like he just needs more attention from the balance changes team. Okay, F tier, great. We see it from last meta, and we still see them. Knight, yes, taunt is not good for Knight. I'm just gonna say it. He needs to block back. Even though it's not a big change because Pekka's meta right now and Lumberjack's overshining him, and so is Guard. But Knight just needs his block back. That's what I feel like. Taunt is just not good. Then we got the Skeleton Guard. Skeleton Guard is really strong with his two star, but that's really it. And he's not really used in many decks. Um, right now the meta is really 4 elixir based, and Guard not enough HP against something like P.E.K.K.A. So it's just gonna get one tapped, and that is your like 6-8 elixir investment. Not worth it at all. At the end, again and again and again. Which? Hello there. How long have you been staying down there? Yeah, this mini needs attention, but at the same time it doesn't because I don't have a word for it. It's just weak in PvP and strong in PvE. Maybe one day we'll see, more witch plays in the meta, but right now so far, not any. I'll probably post another Gizmos tier list another day. I'll have my thumb reveal at 100 subs, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe and stay tuned for more decks and guides. Peace out.